Imagine finding a tiny copper coin in your change and realizing, could be worth up to $75,000 today. We're diving deep into the top 3 most valuable wheat pennies that have shocked collectors and changed lives. These aren't just old coins, they're pieces of American history hiding in plain sight. From rare minting errors to incredibly low mintages, each penny on this list has a story that will leave you checking every coin you own. The hunt for these hidden treasures. We're talking about a humble 1937 wheat penny, but not just any penny. This is one of the most elusive, error-struck treasures in American coin history. And believe it or not, some of these tiny coins have fetched jaw-dropping prices between at auction now. You might be wondering, how can a coin that cost just a penny to make be worth a small fortune today? Well, the answer lies in its incredible backstory, its unusual mistakes at the U.S. Mint, and the extremely limited number of surviving examples. The background: the year was 1937, a time when the Great Depression still lingered in America, though signs of recovery were starting to appear. Franklin D. Roosevelt was president, swing music filled the airwaves, and a loaf of bread cost just 9 cents. The U.S. Mint was producing the famous Lincoln wheat cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The wheat penny design was beloved for its simple elegance: double die obverse DDO, $4,000 to $6,000. Off-center strike, $9,000 to $13,000. Wrong planchet error, $16,000 to $20,000. Auction sales price and market value. The big question: why can a penny be worth tens of thousands of dollars? 3 factors drive the astronomical values. Rarity: error coins were often caught and destroyed. Only a handful escaped into circulation, making surviving specimens incredibly scarce. Condition grade. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, uncirculated coin. A rare 1937 error in mint state, MS, condition can easily leap from a few $1,000s to $30,000 or more. Demand among collectors. The wheat penny series is one of the most beloved U.S. coin series. Combine that with the thrill of a dramatic mint error, and you have a recipe for high bidding wars at auctions. Auction examples: a 1937 double die in pristine MS-65 red sold for $37,000 at Heritage Auctions. An off-center strike with a fully visible date went for $32,000. A rare wrong planchet error fetched $45,000 in a private sale. How to identify one in your collection? If you think you might have a 1937 wheat penny, here's how to check if it's a jackpot. Check alignment. Is part of the design missing due to an off-center strike? Inspect for die breaks, especially between the letters in Liberty. Weigh the coin. If it's lighter or heavier than the standard 3.11 grams, it might be struck on the wrong planchet. Tips for selling one: if you find a possible rare 1937 error penny, don't clean it. Cleaning destroys collector value. Get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC. The top coin grading services sell through reputable auction houses where high-end collectors shop. We're diving deep into the incredible story of one of the most sought-after wartime coins in U.S. history, the rare 1945 wheat penny with errors so unusual that collectors will pay a small fortune for it. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot one and maybe even cash in big. The historical. Before we get into the coin itself, we have to set the scene. It's 1945. The world is changing forever. The Second World War is coming to an end. Soldiers are returning home, industries are shifting from wartime production to civilian goods, and America is feeling the first breath of peace in years. But the war had also changed the way coins were made. About 95% copper, 5% zinc, and tin from recycled shell casings. Weight 3.11 grams. The U.S. Mint struck these in 3 locations. Philadelphia. No mint mark. Over 1 billion minted. Off-center strike error, $12,000 to $40,000. Double die obverse DDO, $25,000 to $48,000. The wrong planchet error, $45,000 to $50,000. How to identify one? Here's your checklist when you see a 1945 wheat penny. Check for mint mark. Look just below the date. Is it blank Philadelphia, D Denver, or S San Francisco? All can have valuable errors, but some are rarer than others. Look for doubling. Use a magnifying glass and inspect Liberty and the date for clear doubling. Examine the strike. Is the design off-center? Is the coin oddly shaped? Check the metal. Does it stick to a magnet? If yes, it could be a leftover 1943 steel planchet. Condition. The better the condition, the better your odds at a jackpot price. Record-breaking sales. Here are some real-world sales to prove. DDO wheat penny, MS67 Red sold for $48,000 at Heritage Auctions. Steel Planchet Error sold for $40,000 at Stack's Bowers Galleries. 1945 Wrong Planchet on Silver Dime private sale at $57,000. These aren't just internet myths, these coins have been authenticated, graded, and sold for life-changing money. The collector's demand. Collectors love the 1945 wheat penny because it's a wartime coin with historical significance. It's part of the Lincoln Wheat series, one of the most collected in U.S. history. The rare errors are incredibly scarce, making them high-priority targets for advanced numismatists. The demand means values can only rise, especially for the finest specimens. I'm talking about the ultra-rare 1957 wheat penny with errors so dramatic and scarce that collectors will pay life-changing money to own one. Today, I'm going to take you on a journey through history, explain how these mistakes happened, show you what to look for, and reveal real sales where these coins shattered expectations. And trust me, by the end of this video, you might be running to check every wheat penny you've ever owned. The background: by 1957, the coin was still beloved by the public, but its days were numbered. In just 2 years, the reverse would change to the Lincoln Memorial design. That makes late wheat pennies like the 1957 historically important. They represent the end of an era. Mint location: Denver Mint. Mint mark under the date. Mintage: over 1 billion coins. So yes, they're common in general composition: 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc. Weight: 3.11 grams. Designer: Victor David Brenner. Double die obverse DDO, $60,000 to $69,000. Double die reverse DDR, $20,000 to $40,000. Wrong planchet error, $50,000 to $70,000. Real auction records: these are actual sales that prove the 1957 wheat penny can be a jackpot. DDOMS 67RD, sold for $60,000 at Heritage Auctions. Wrong planchet, silver dime, MS66, private sale at $69,000. DDR MS66RD hammered at $77,000 and could be worth even more today. How to identify one in your change: when you see a 1957 penny, don't just toss it aside. Follow this checklist. Date and mint mark. Look for clear doubling. Reverse check. Examine wheat stalks and lettering. Shape and size. Make sure it's the right diameter and weight. Wrong planchets are smaller or lighter. Strike position. Is it centered off center? Strikes can be valuable. Condition. Bright red copper with no scratches is your best bet for top value. Could you have one? Here's the exciting part: with over 1 billion minted, millions of 1957 wheat pennies are still out there. Most are worth a few cents, but that one in a million with the right error and condition, that's the one that could buy you a new car or maybe even a small house.